This town deserves a better class of criminal. This movie is a work of art. The finest sequel ever made. I don't think we will see another movie like this for a long time. Heath Ledger's Joker is the best movie character I have ever seen by far. Avengers Endgame is great, but The Dark Knight is much better. The best Batman ever. The best Joker ever. The best DC movie ever. The best superhero movie ever. Confidently directed, dark, brooding, and packed with impressive action sequences and a complex story, The Dark Knight includes a career-defining turn from Heath Ledger as well as other Oscar-worthy performances. TDK remains not only the best Batman movie, but comic book movie ever created. I didn't like it. Oh. Heaven forfend. There is nothing special about this movie. Period. Nothing special. It tries on so many levels to be this big mega movie, and in financial terms, it was, but you know what? It's still not good, no matter how many fans it has, no matter how much money it pulls in. Those are just figures and numbers, and they're quite boring in the long run. Let's go over a few reasons why it was not good. First off, the story bites off way more than is necessary. We have Bruce Wayne in this ridiculous attempt to win back a woman he'll never have the chance to be with. The woman he is in love with prances around like a little schoolgirl, and really has no business being in the story to begin with. She is just there to make both Batman and Harvey Dent rival each other. I'm so sure that the writers could have come up with a better plan to pit the two against each other than that. Then, there's the Joker, the most ridiculous part of the story. Ridiculous because of the lengths and the means that the filmmakers took to bring a new kind of villain. It's not entertaining, it's not disturbing, it's just sick. This movie was not fun. It was not entertaining. It was a product for the mindless audiences who were going to buy into it anyway, and especially because of the death of Heath Ledger. Let's talk a little about that. This film had success that rode the curtail of Ledger's death. The studio deliberately used the poor suffering of a human being to push a film into exhibition. That's really sad, and you know what else? It's all this film will ever be, the last film of Heath Ledger, and America went to see it because he died before its release. Sad. Really sad. I didn't like it, and I bet others will not like me for that very reason. Even more sad still. A Batman of Shakespearean proportions. Dark, yes, complex, ambitious. Christopher Nolan and his co-writer Jonathan Nolan deserve a standing ovation. I don't usually go for loud movies filled with mindless gore and violence. The Dark Knight is certainly loud and violent, but it's not mindless. It has depth and soul. Even the Joker, in an extraordinary creation by Heath Ledger, is deeply human. The natural petulance of Christian Bale makes his ego and alter ego the most fascinating and complex of all film superheroes. Part of the genius of this movie is that Batman himself, in screen time, is not really the lead. My attention was captivated by Heath Ledger, and he determines and inspires the breathtaking atmosphere that envelopes Gotham as well as us. The aplomb of Christopher Nolan as a director is mind-blowing, and his secret, I believe, is his obvious respect for his audience. What he's done is to elevate a popular genre into Shakespearean proportions. Bravo! Ridiculous rating. Another example of an overhyped movie, but now in extreme. To say this piece of junk should be regarded as the best movie of 2008 is ridiculous. Basically, it is just another movie about a man in a bat suit who duels for more than 2 hours with another bad man with a painted smile, and in the process some quasi-profound remarks are exchanged. No humor in sight to make the movie better digestible. Big budget, good actors and some clever makeup artists are no guarantee for a good movie. In this case it resulted in a very boring one. As for the so-called performance of the year by Ledger, he was a very good actor, but this one-dimensional role is far from being special, but I guess the Oscar will be his, nil nisi bonum. Why this movie should be on par with, or far better than true masterpieces like The Godfather 1 and 2 and Vertigo is beyond belief. Film surpasses the hype. We've been subjected to enormous amounts of hype and marketing for The Dark Knight. We've seen Joker scavenger hunts and one of the largest viral campaigns in advertising history, and it culminates with the actual release of the movie. Everything that's been said is pretty much spot on. This is the first time I can remember where a summer blockbuster film far surpasses the hype. For as much action as there is in this movie, it's the acting that makes it a great piece of work. Between all the punches, explosions and stunt work is some great dialogue work. All the actors have their moments. Bale's Batman is the definitive Batman because we see everything in this character finally on film. Martial arts skills, cunning, great tactical thinking, forensic application, technological genius to advance or improve Luscious Fox's inventions/technological breakthroughs, intimidating personality, and even a little swashbuckling. As for Heath, yes, he gets credit for his performance as the Joker. But you have to also recognize Jonathan and Chris Nolan for the writing and treatment of the character. It's not just the fact that Ledger makes the Joker so menacing, but the Nolans have given the character this great manifesto that drives its actions. The Joker's stance on chaos, order, anarchy, the morality of the average modern human being make the character so interesting psychologically. The Nolans drafted a complex character and only a perfect performance could have pulled something like this off. That's how difficult of a role this was, and that's why Ledger's performance is so great. This isn't an action movie. It's a film that explores literary themes of the hero and villain, as well as order and anarchy. Yes, listen to the dialogue because it's all in there. The most overrated junk movie I have seen in my whole life. This movie is a non-plot action-packed propaganda movie. Which wouldn't be so bad, but the combination is such that it is the worst movie I have ever seen in my whole life. Seriously, when I came out of the movie theater I was sick and angry at the same time. The whole movie is about approach towards the various kinds of villains, how they are and how they should be generally handled. You have about 20 propaganda lines, towards which each part of the film leads, those parts connected by a very feeble link. You could almost see the authors as they thought, we need to put this line into the movie. What circumstances will lead the hero or anti-hero to tell the audience this truth? Of course that made the movie a 2-hour drag where the twists and turns of fortune made you think if it wasn't a 10-year-old child who wrote it. The setup worked, we caught the Joker. Oh, Joker escaped, what are we gonna do? Then the good guys would realize that Joker wanted them to set up a trap. He wanted to be caught so as to escape and harm even more. Well, that is so childishly ridiculous. First surrealistic propaganda movie ever. So guys out there in the US, remember. When you get spied through your cell phones, when your dear ones die instead of a rich undercover agent, don't feel offended. Because to fight the crime or terrorism, we don't need the good heroes, those apparently end up as dead half-faced wackos. We need dark knights. Sorry for my bad English. I needed to get this off my chest. So much approval, 9.2 user rating here, 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. Are that many people so simple or so easily bought? Great, but doesn't deserve to be compared with masterpieces. Christopher Nolan is a talented director. With Batman Begins, he created such a fantastic atmosphere that he brought Batman character back in game. With The Dark Knight, he made not only a great second sequel, but also one of the best movies of the past 10 years. He mixed action, heroism, feeling, literature, colors so well that you feel kind of high when the movie ends. There is no doubt about it. But I see some people who don't mind to compare this movie with some old masterpieces and say The Dark Knight is the best movie so far. This is completely unacceptable. Let me clear this, if a movie can bring freshness to creativity, if a movie happens to change your insights, if a movie starts a new genre, gives away new techniques and styles, if a movie makes you understand your heart better, then I call that movie a masterpiece. As far as I see, The Dark Knight is far from it. But I still feel like I have to congratulate Christopher Nolan for making such a good film. Thanks. One of the best movies. The actors, the script, the scenery make it one of the best movies I have ever seen. The best played character of the Joker is amazing. That's how I imagined him. In the film, he is portrayed as an ultra-intelligent person with a psychopathic brain. Honestly, I was very surprised that someone known for their niche productions would play such a good role as one of the most important characters in the Batman series. Unfortunately, we will probably never see the Joker so well again, because Heath Ledger, from unknown circumstances, died. This is sad news. However, back to the movie. The main character, Batman, played by Christian Bale, also shows the character very well. Therefore, my rating for this movie is 10/10. You will not breathe while watching. This movie is hands down one of the greatest films ever created. Meticulously plotted, boldly directed, emotionally satisfying and grand in scale are just a few ways to describe this colossus of filmmaking. Heath Ledger easily surpasses even the hype with a masterclass, screen-devouring performance. Christian Bale, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, and Gary Oldman are also incredible. You need to see this movie at least once in your lifetime. Go see it now. Too much of everything. There were just too many subplots, too much violence, and it was at least a half hour too long. They should have taken some of the time they spent planning CGI effects and used it to seal some of the plot holes. 1. A witness pulls a gun out while he's on the witness stand. Excuse me? This is some mythic land where the courthouses don't have metal detectors? 2. There's a terrorist threat against a hospital, so they evacuate every patient except the one who's been in all the papers. 3. The police are transporting a high-profile prisoner, with dozens of vehicles escorting him and SWAT teams all over the place, but one trailer truck starts chasing them and they're all helpless. 4. The silliest thing of all, Batman's constant whispering. It's supposed to make him sound menacing, but he just sounds like he has laryngitis. It's like the old Superman TV show where people magically have no idea who he is as long as he keeps his glasses on. I know I'm way in the minority on this one, but I have to say this was the ugliest, stupidest movie I've ever seen. I would have walked out if I weren't trapped at the end of an aisle. You couldn't pay me enough to sit through it again. How about you? What is your review about this movie? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe.